Good evening from the Palace of Versailles in the city of Versailles, France. Welcome to the first ruler debate in 1713. I will be your moderator, and it is an honor to be here. Today we have two renowned monarchs, Tsar Peter the Great of Russia and King Louis XIV of France. They're here to debate who is better suited to guide their state into prosperity. Regarding the nobility in each monarch's state, how do you manage on persuading your nobles and aiding to create the state you desire?
Well, first off, I'd like to start by thanking the moderator for being here and moderating this lovely debate today. And by thanking Peter, it's an honor to be debating against you. And to answer your question, in order to pacify my nobles, I invited them to partake in my opulent lifestyle and indulge in my prosperity. This in turn led them to believe in my philosophy and how I administer my state.
Personally, I took a different tact and used my adroitness where I don't have to give my nobles anything, rather give them the opportunity to keep their possessions, such as their land, to keep it in their family.
How, as head of your states, have you tamed your bureaucracy?
To have an extremely organized government, I created a Senate to replace the Council of Ministers. They in turn took control and coordinated various branches of the government. I then appointed a procurator who supervised the Senate and carried out my directives.
In turn, I appointed administrators and government officials to carry out my stipulations to the letter. I did not allow them to carry out personal decrees, for I wish to govern my state as I see fit.
Thank you very much, King Louis XIV and Tsar Peter the Great. As the economy is constantly changing, how do you manage to keep a stable balance of goods and services?
As to keep my economy substantial, I appointed a financial advisor that would give France a flourishing financial system. I did so by raising taxes and tariffs.
Pause. You mean to tell me you raised taxes on your own people?
As I was saying, to produce high-quality products that other countries would desire, thereby bringing more coinage into our economy. What was your method, Peter the Great?
I took a different path, where I believe trade and entrepreneurship is the foundation of a good economy. From this, I assured to export more goods than I imported. Consequently, I did not feel the need to tax my people to gain more profitable outcomes.
Whether to gain territory or protect your existing state, what tactics did you use concerning your military forces to best aid your people?
I put great effort in Sterling to build my army. With my military, I waged war against other nations in order to increase French territory.
I, on the other hand, did not tax my people individually, but rather taxed by household. With these finances, I modernized my army and navy by having officers train men on how to properly fight, such as showing initiative by guaranteeing that uniformity was present throughout.
In actuality, my wars obtained territory in foreign regions, such as in Flanders and parts of the Kingdom of Burgundy.
With the foreign policy you've established, how has it affected your state and other countries?
As I have created the largest naval fleet throughout the world, it has enabled me to expand the foundational relationships with other countries. I have also gained access to prized trade routes, such as the ones in Caspian Sea, through my alliance with the Ottoman Empire.
Well, through my foreign relationships, I was able to gain land in the Spanish Netherlands, which rightfully belonged to my wife through inheritance. Therefore, not only was I able to expand my borders, but through my foreign policies, I was also able to make France a dominant power in Europe.
With various aspects of culture and art that has been integrated in your country, how did these changes impact your people?
So, to ensure that France will be the highest of class, I have obtained relationships with esteemed playwright Molière, Charles Le Brun, a notable painter, and Jean-Baptiste Lully, a renowned composer. Through these relationships, I have obtained a finesse in which my people have adopted. But throughout our exceptional culture, the Peace of Resistance was the largest and most grandiose place known to man. The place we're standing in at this exact moment, the Palace of Versailles.
I agree, King Louis. This palace in which we're standing in is truly a wonder to behold, but my mind can't help but wonder to the question, since you're so fond of taxing your people, how much more did it cost them to create this humble abode of yours?
I would expect a response such as yours, for a backward Tsar would be flabbergasted at such a marvelous place as the Palace of Versailles.
Well, unlike yourself, others don't fancy a lavish palace, but rather I prefer a dignified city such as St. Petersburg, also known as the window to the west. This noble city has been referred to the Venice of the North, but better yet, it might be notable to you as the city of northern lights.
Thank you, King Louis XIV and Tsar Peter the Great. We have now heard the opinions of Tsar Peter the Great and King Louis XIV. The decision of who is truly the most upstanding monarch will now be left to the court of public opinion. Good evening.